This video is going to show you how to do a percent of increase for Chapter 3. This project is not your homework or your assessment project. This is Project 3B that is shown in the second part of your chapter. But we don't have to do percent of increase in either the homework or assessment for this chapter, so I wanted to bring up this project so I can show you at least the steps and how to do that, because you'll have to do that on your final, and you may have to do it on your final project. I don't quite remember. But if you do, this is how you do it. So percent of increase, the first thing we want to do is, if you look at this, we have population from 1970 to 2010. We want to find out how much the population has increased, what percentage rate it has increased between each of those 10-year periods. So the first thing we want to do, we want to click in cell C7, right? We want to insert a formula, and remember every formula and function starts with an equal sign, so we have to type in the equal sign. And now to get this, you have to take the current year, the year right now that you're in, and so right now we're in year 1980, and you have to subtract the previous year from it. And the previous year here is 1970. Now, if you look in your chapter, or if you look in any of the documents that I have put in the chapter in MyLabs Plus, there's one in there called Order of Operations. Order of Operations happens in math, and it also happens in Excel, that you have a certain order in which you have to perform mathematical operations. And when you're doing this calculation, you're going to have division in this formula, and you're going to have addition. Now, if you follow the order of operation, the first thing that would come between those two, the first operation that you would perform according to the order of operations is the division, right? But we don't want you to perform the division first. We want you to perform the subtraction first. So in order to do that, we have to put the subtraction in parentheses, because parentheses in the order of operations is the very first thing that you perform. So here we're going to do equal sign. We're going to take our present population, 1980, so it's going to be C6 minus the previous year's population, B6. We've got to close our parentheses, and then we're going to divide that by last year's population, or the previous year's population. So divide by B6, right? So equal sign in parentheses, C6 minus B6, close your parentheses, divided by B6. Hit enter, and in C7 you should get 2%. All right, now we could go to D7, and if we put it in here, that same percent of increase calculation, we're going to do equal sign. The current year's population is 1990, so it's in D6. Remember our parentheses. D6 minus C6 is the previous year. Close our parentheses, divided by the previous year, which is C6, and hit enter. And in D7 you would get 5%. Now, do we have to do that for each cell going across? No, we don't. All we have to do is just click in D7, put our mouse over our fill handle, get that black plus sign, hold down our left mouse button, and fill it across. So the percent of increase from 1970 to 1980 is 2%. From 1980 to 1990, it's 5%. From 1990 to 2000, it's 8%. And from 2000 to 2010, it's 14%. So that's your percent of increase for each of those years, or each of those 10-year periods. If you have any questions on that, please let me know. In MyLabs Plus, in Chapter 3, I have put a document. The first page shows you how to do percent of increase. The second page shows you how to do value after increase. I've tried to break the formula down so that it's a little bit easier to understand. So please refer to those if you need them. Again, if you have any questions, send me email enough ahead of the due date so that I can provide you with an answer, and you'll have time to complete the project.